Welcome back to the channel everyone. I'm truly excited to have you here today because what we're about to explore might completely change the way you look at the smallest coins hiding in your pocket, drawers, jars, or old collections. And if you've ever casually ignored a penny thinking it was practically worthless, this story is going to make you stop and think twice. Because today we are diving deep into the unbelievable mystery of the 1987 1-cent coin, a seemingly ordinary Lincoln penny that, under the right circumstances, has been valued by experts and collectors at an astonishing $14 million. Yes, you heard that right, $14 million for a single penny, and this incredible valuation is not based on fantasy or hype alone but on a rare combination of minting errors, production mistakes, material anomalies, historical timing, collector demand, and extreme scarcity that together create one of the most fascinating numismatic legends of modern American coinage. So sit back, stay with me, and imagine for a moment that the next life-changing discovery could already be in your home without you even realizing it, because the story of the 1987 penny is proof that sometimes the smallest things can carry the biggest surprises. Now, to understand why this particular coin has captured so much attention, we need to travel back to the year 1987, a time when the United States Mint was still dealing with the long-term effects of changes made to penny composition earlier in the decade, since in 1982 the Mint officially transitioned the Lincoln cent from its traditional 95% copper alloy to a primarily zinc core with a thin copper plating, a decision driven by rising copper prices and cost-cutting measures. But whenever such a major change occurs in any manufacturing process, especially one that involves multiple mints, massive production numbers, and tight schedules, the door is opened for mistakes, anomalies, and transitional errors. And the Denver Mint, identified by the D Mint mark found below the date on the obverse of the coin, was no exception, producing hundreds of millions of pennies that year under intense pressure to meet circulation demand. And it is within this chaotic environment that the seeds of the legendary 1987 penny era were planted. Because while the official composition by that time was supposed to be copper-plated zinc, evidence strongly suggests that a tiny number of planchets, the blank metal discs used to strike coins, were either mistakenly produced using the wrong metal composition or struck on leftover copper planchets that should have been destroyed or repurposed, and this single mistake alone instantly sets the stage for astronomical value, since a 1987 penny struck on a full copper planchet would represent an impossible coin according to official mint records, making it a major mint error and an extraordinary rarity, and rarity is the foundation of value in numismatics. But composition is only the beginning of this coin story, because experts believe that the most valuable versions of the 1987 penny combine multiple errors at once, creating what collectors call a compound error, which is far more desirable than a single isolated mistake. One of the most discussed possibilities is a wrong planchet error paired with a double die obverse or reverse, a situation where the die used to strike the coin was misaligned during hubbing, causing the design elements such as the date, mint mark, lettering, or Lincoln's portrait to appear doubled, sometimes dramatically so, and when you combine a double die with a wrong metal composition, the result is a coin that should never have existed under any circumstances, elevating it from a curiosity to a numismatic unicorn. And then there are the striking errors, because even if a coin is struck on the correct planchet, improper striking pressure can create weak strikes, off-center strikes, broad strikes, or even multiple strikes. And while many of these errors are relatively common and modestly valuable, an extreme example on a rare transitional or wrong planchet coin can multiply its value beyond imagination. And some collectors speculate that the $14 million valuation applies to a hypothetical or privately held specimen that exhibits not only the wrong metal composition but also an off-center strike exceeding 50%, combined with a visible double strike and clear mint mark, all preserved in near-perfect condition, which is almost unheard of. But condition is another crucial factor we need to discuss, because even the rarest error coin can lose significant value if it is heavily worn, damaged, or corroded, and for a penny to command a price in the millions, it must survive decades of circulation or storage in exceptional condition, possibly graded as Mint State 68 or higher by a major third-party grading service. And while it sounds improbable, history has shown that such miracles do happen, especially when coins are pulled from rolls early, saved by collectors, or stored away in sealed mint bags, and the 1987 penny sits right at the crossroads of modern and classic numismatics, making it especially attractive to a new generation of collectors who focus on error coins and transitional varieties. But beyond the physical errors, there is also the psychological and market aspect of value, because a coin's worth is not determined by metal and mistakes alone, but by demand, storytelling, and competition among wealthy collectors. And the idea of a penny worth $14 million captures the imagination in a way few collectibles can, drawing attention from investors, museums, and elite numismatists who are willing to pay staggering sums to own a piece of minting history that defies official records. And when multiple high-net-worth individuals want the same unique object, prices can soar beyond traditional valuation models, especially if the coin is the only known example or one of just 2 or 3 in existence, which is another reason the 1987 penny legend continues to grow, because there are persistent rumors within the collecting community of undisclosed specimens held in private collections, vaults, or estates, never publicly auctioned, their existence hinted at through grading submissions, private sales, or confidential appraisals, fueling speculation and excitement. And while some skeptics argue that no confirmed $14 million sale has been publicly recorded, it's important to understand that private treaty sales in numismatics often remain confidential, and record-breaking prices can change hands without ever making headlines, especially when buyers value discretion, and this secrecy only adds to the mystique, pushing more people to search through their change and inherited collections in hopes of discovering the next legendary coin. And now let's talk about what exactly someone should look for if they believe they might have a valuable 1987 penny. Because knowledge is power in this hunt, the first and most obvious step is to check the date and mint mark, ensuring it clearly reads 1987 with AD below the date. Then examine the color and weight of the coin, because a copper-plated zinc penny weighs about 2.5 grams, while a full copper penny weighs approximately 3.11 grams. And a simple digital scale can instantly reveal whether your coin is something unusual, and if the weight is significantly higher than expected, that alone is a massive red flag pointing toward a wrong planchet error. Then move on to magnetism, since zinc pennies are not magnetic, but the test can help rule out other metal anomalies. And after that, inspect the coin closely under magnification, looking for doubling in the letters of Liberty, Indiana God We Trust, the date, and Lincoln's profile, as well as any signs of off-center striking, unusual rim thickness, missing elements, or overlapping impressions. And even the mint mark itself can be a clue, because repunched or misplaced mint marks, although less common in the late 1980s, still exist and can add value when combined with other errors. And once all these factors are considered together, the true potential of a coin begins to emerge. But it's crucial to emphasize that authentication is everything, because the coin market is full of altered coins, plating experiments, and outright fakes designed to fool inexperienced collectors. And a coin believed to be worth millions must be verified by a reputable grading service, which will analyze the metal composition, strike characteristics, and die markers to confirm its authenticity. And only after such verification can a coin realistically enter the realm of 7- or 8-figure valuations. But even the possibility that such a coin could exist is enough to keep collectors searching, because the history of numismatics is filled with discoveries that were once thought impossible, such as the 1943 copper penny or the 1955 double die cent, both of which were initially dismissed before becoming icons. And the 1987 penny fits perfectly into this tradition of underestimated modern rarities, reminding us that extraordinary value is not limited to ancient coins or gold pieces but can emerge from everyday change. And this is why the story resonates so deeply with people, because it combines hope, mystery, history, and the thrill of the hunt into one small copper-colored disc. And as the years go by, the likelihood of new discoveries may decrease as coins are lost, damaged, or melted, but at the same time, awareness continues to grow, and every new collector entering the hobby brings fresh eyes and renewed enthusiasm, increasing the chances that a hidden treasure will finally be recognized. Next, 1992 1-cent coin. Today, because this is one of those stories that proves beyond any doubt that everyday pocket change can hide life-changing secrets. And if you have ever glanced at a penny and thought it was practically worthless, this episode is going to completely change your perspective, because today we are diving deep into the astonishing legend of the 1992 1-cent coin. A seemingly ordinary Lincoln penny that under extremely rare and specific circumstances has been valued by collectors and experts at an unbelievable $13 million, yes $13 million for a single cent, and this staggering valuation is not just hype or exaggeration but is rooted in a perfect storm of minting errors, design mistakes, transitional anomalies, die varieties, material irregularities, historical timing, and extreme scarcity that together make the 1992 penny one of the most fascinating and mysterious modern U.S. coins ever discussed. So stay with me, settle in, and imagine for a moment that a small copper-colored coin sitting unnoticed in a jar, drawer, or inherited collection could hold the power to transform someone's life overnight, because the story of the 1992 1-cent coin is not just about money, it is about discovery, history, and the incredible unpredictability of the minting process. And to truly understand why this coin has reached such legendary status, we need to step back into the early 1990s, a period when the United States Mint was operating at massive scale, producing billions of coins annually to meet circulation demand while also implementing subtle design and die changes that were never meant to create rarities but sometimes did exactly that. And in 1992 the Lincoln Memorial Cent was still the standard design, but behind the scenes important changes were being tested, refined, and quietly introduced, particularly involving the reverse design, the spacing and style of lettering, and the preparation of dies at different mint facilities. And it is within this complex environment that the most famous and valuable 1992 penny error emerged, known among collectors as the close AM variety, an error so rare and so unexpected that it was never officially documented by the mint, and yet its existence has been proven beyond doubt through authenticated examples. And this single design mistake alone is enough to elevate a common penny into the realm of extreme rarity, because on standard 1992 circulation pennies the letters A and M in America on the reverse are clearly separated, creating a noticeable gap between them, while on proof coins and certain test dies those letters are much closer together, almost touching, and the incredible error occurred when a proof reverse die or a die intended for a different purpose was accidentally used to strike regular circulation pennies, creating the legendary 1992 close AM cent, a coin that by all official standards should not exist, and while a few examples have been publicly confirmed and sold for hundreds of thousands to over $1 million, the $13 million valuation comes into play when experts consider the possibility of a perfect storm specimen, a 1992 penny that not only features the close AM reverse but also includes additional rare errors and exceptional condition that push it far beyond known examples. Because in numismatics value does not increase linearly, it explodes exponentially when multiple rare factors converge in a single coin, and this is where the story becomes truly fascinating, because the 1992 close AM error by itself is already one of the most famous modern penny varieties, but when combined with other potential mistakes such as a double die obverse, a misaligned die, a wrong planchet, or a transitional metal error, the result would be a coin that defies mint records and challenges everything we think we know about that year's production, and such a coin would instantly become one of the most important modern discoveries in U.S. coinage history, attracting not just collectors but museums, investors, and elite numismatists willing to pay astonishing sums to secure ownership. And one of the most intriguing possibilities discussed among experts is the existence of a 1992 close AM penny struck on a bronze planchet instead of the standard copper-plated zinc composition, because although the mint officially switched to zinc cores in 1982, occasional wrong planchet errors have occurred over the years due to leftover materials, improper disposal, or accidental mixing during planchet preparation, and a full bronze 1992 penny with a close AM reverse would represent an error of the highest order, combining a forbidden design pairing with an impossible metal composition, and such a coin would be considered unique or nearly unique, which is the foundation of multi-million-dollar valuations. And then there is the matter of double dies, because during die creation the hubbing process sometimes results in misalignment, causing the design to be impressed more than once in slightly different positions, creating visible doubling on letters, numbers, and portraits. And while many double dies are minor, a strong double die obverse on a 1992 close AM penny would dramatically increase its desirability, especially if the doubling is visible to the naked eye on Lincoln's profile. the date, or the inscriptions, and when you add strike anomalies such as off-center strikes, broad strikes, or double strikes to the equation, the potential value climbs even higher, because each additional error layer reduces the population of possible examples to near zero, and condition plays a massive role as well, because a coin with all these attributes preserved in near-perfect mint state condition would be almost miraculous, suggesting it was either pulled from circulation immediately or never circulated at all, perhaps saved unknowingly in a roll, mint bag, or collection, and collectors place enormous premiums on high-grade examples because condition is something that cannot be replicated or repaired, and as time passes the chances of finding pristine specimens diminish, further increasing demand for those that do exist. And beyond the physical characteristics of the coin, there is also the market psychology that drives such extreme valuations. Because a coin worth $13 million is not just a piece of metal, it is a symbol of rarity, prestige, and historical significance, and wealthy collectors often compete fiercely for ownership of unique or near-unique items, especially those with compelling stories, and the idea that a humble penny could be worth more than luxury mansions, supercars, or fine art captures the imagination in a way few collectibles can, and this attention fuels demand, media coverage, and investor interest, creating a feedback loop that pushes prices higher and higher, especially when the number of known examples is extremely limited or uncertain, and the 1992 close AM penny is surrounded by exactly this kind of uncertainty, because while a small number of confirmed specimens are known, many experts believe more could exist undiscovered, sitting unnoticed in collections or hoards, and the possibility that an even more extraordinary example could surface keeps the legend alive and the valuations climbing. And it is important to understand that the $13 million figure often discussed represents a top-tier hypothetical specimen, one that combines the close AM reverse with additional rare errors and flawless preservation, and while no public auction has yet recorded such a sale, private transactions in the numismatic world are often confidential, and record-setting deals can occur without ever being announced, especially when buyers value discretion, and this secrecy only adds to the mystique and allure of the coin, encouraging more people to search their change and collections. And if you are wondering what to look for if you think you might have a valuable 1992 penny, the first step is to examine the date carefully, because both Philadelphia minted coins with no mint mark and Denver minted coins with AD exist, and the close AM variety is primarily associated with the 1992 Philadelphia issue, making it even rarer. Then turn the coin over and look closely at the word America on the reverse, specifically the spacing between the A and M, because on the close AM variety those letters are nearly touching, unlike the wide gap seen on normal circulation coins, and magnification is essential here because the difference can be subtle to the untrained eye, and weight is another crucial clue, because a standard 1992 zinc penny weighs about 2.5 grams, while a bronze penny weighs approximately 3.11 grams. And a simple scale can instantly reveal whether your coin has an unusual composition, and from there inspect the coin for doubling, strike irregularities, unusual rims, missing details, or anything else that looks out of place, and if you believe you have something special, professional authentication is absolutely critical, because the market is full of altered coins and misidentified pieces, and only a reputable grading service can confirm authenticity, metal composition, and variety attribution, which is essential before any serious valuation can occur. And the story of the 1992 penny also highlights a broader truth about coin collecting, which is that modern coins are not immune to becoming legendary rarities, and while many people focus on ancient or gold coins, some of the most dramatic discoveries have come from recent decades, hidden in plain sight, and this reality has helped fuel a surge of interest in searching rolls, checking pocket change. Next, 1996 1-cent coin. Today, because what we're about to uncover is one of those stories that completely changes how you look at the smallest coins in your life, and if you've ever dismissed a penny as something insignificant, boring, or practically worthless, this deep dive into the mysterious 1996 1-cent coin is going to challenge everything you think you know about money, rarity, and hidden value. Because today we are exploring how a simple Lincoln penny from 1996, a coin that millions of people handled without a second thought, can under extraordinarily rare circumstances be valued at an astonishing $12 million, and that figure isn't just a random fantasy number but a reflection of how extreme minting errors, production mistakes, transitional anomalies, die varieties, metal irregularities, and collector demand can combine to turn an everyday object into a once-in-a-lifetime treasure. And as always on this channel, this isn't just about money, it's about history, curiosity, and the thrill of discovering something extraordinary hiding in plain sight. So stay with me, imagine the possibilities, and let's journey back to the mid-1990s to understand how the 1996 penny earned its legendary reputation, because the year 1996 was a significant time for the United States Mint, marking the 50th anniversary of the Roosevelt dime and the beginning of massive commemorative production, while at the same time the Mint was producing billions of Lincoln cents for circulation at an industrial scale. And whenever production numbers are that high, especially across multiple facilities like Philadelphia and Denver, the chances of mistakes increase dramatically, and while most of those mistakes are caught and destroyed, a few always slip through, and those survivors are what collectors dream of finding. Because by 1996 the Lincoln cent was officially produced using a copper-plated zinc composition, weighing approximately 2.5 grams, with a thin copper layer bonded to a zinc core. But despite this standardization, history has proven that wrong planchet errors can and do occur, especially when leftover materials, experimental planchets, or foreign blanks accidentally enter the production line. And one of the most tantalizing possibilities surrounding the $12 million 1996 penny is the idea that it was struck on a bronze or copper planchet instead of zinc, a composition that should not exist for that year, and such a mistake would immediately place the coin in the highest tier of modern mint errors, because it would directly contradict official mint specifications, and collectors place extraordinary value on coins that should not exist according to the records. But composition alone is rarely enough to reach 8-figure valuations, which is why experts believe the most valuable hypothetical 1996 penny would also feature additional dramatic errors, such as a doubled die obverse or reverse, because doubled dies occur during the die-making process when the hub impresses the design onto the die more than once in slightly misaligned positions, creating visible doubling in letters, numbers, or portraits. And while minor doubling is fairly common, a strong doubled die that is clearly visible to the naked eye, especially on the date, the word Liberty, Indiana God We Trust, or Lincoln's facial features, can multiply a coin's value exponentially. And when such a doubled die appears on a coin already struck on the wrong metal, the result is a compound error that pushes rarity to near zero population levels. And then there are strike-related errors, which add another layer of intrigue and value, because during the striking process coins can be struck off-center, struck multiple times, struck through debris, or struck with insufficient or excessive pressure. And while many off-center or double-struck coins are collectible on their own, an extreme example combined with a wrong planchet and a double die would be almost unheard of. And it is exactly this type of perfect storm scenario that fuels the $12 million valuation discussion, because in numismatics the most valuable coins are often those that represent multiple failures of the system occurring simultaneously, each one statistically unlikely on its own, and together almost impossible. And condition plays a critical role in this as well, because for a coin to command multi-million-dollar prices it must not only be rare but also exceptionally well preserved, ideally in mint state condition with minimal marks, strong luster, and clear details. And while it may seem unlikely that such a flawed coin could survive in pristine condition, history has shown that many extraordinary errors were discovered in original mint rolls, bags, or collections before they ever circulated, and the 1996 penny is no exception to that possibility, especially considering the rise of roll searching and coin collecting interest during the 1990s. Which led many people to save coins without fully understanding what they had. And beyond physical characteristics there is also the historical and psychological aspect of value, because the Lincoln cent is one of the most iconic coins in American history, collected by millions of people worldwide, and any major discovery involving this design instantly attracts massive attention. And when a coin from a relatively modern year like 1996 becomes the subject of million-dollar discussions, it challenges the assumption that only ancient or gold coins can be truly valuable, and that shock factor alone drives demand, media coverage, and competition among wealthy collectors, and the idea that a penny someone could have received as change at a grocery store might be worth $12 million is so powerful that it keeps people searching, learning, and engaging with the hobby. And the market dynamics behind such valuations are complex, because while no public auction has yet recorded a confirmed $12 million sale of a 1996 penny, private transactions, confidential appraisals, and theoretical valuations play a huge role in shaping perceptions, and in the numismatic world it is not uncommon for record-breaking coins to change hands quietly between elite collectors, investors, or institutions, especially when discretion is valued, and the rumor of a privately held, extraordinary 1996 penny with multiple errors has circulated among collectors for years, fueling speculation and excitement. And whether or not such a coin is ever publicly revealed, the mere possibility is enough to keep the legend alive. And if you're wondering what to look for if you want to check your own 1996 pennies, the process begins with the basics, examining the date and mint mark to confirm it is indeed a 1996 issue. Then weighing the coin to see if it matches the expected 2.5 grams of a zinc cent or deviates significantly toward the heavier bronze standard of around 3.11 grams. And from there closely inspecting the coin under magnification for signs of doubling, especially on the date and inscriptions, and then checking for any unusual strike characteristics such as off-center alignment, doubled impressions, weak or missing details, or abnormal rims. And while most coins will turn out to be ordinary, the act of searching itself is part of the thrill, because every now and then someone does find something extraordinary, and it's important to remember that authentication is absolutely essential, because altered coins, plating experiments, and misunderstandings are common, and only a reputable grading service can confirm whether a coin is truly a rare error or simply damaged. And the story of the 1996 1-cent coin ultimately represents something much bigger than just a price tag. It represents the idea that value is not always obvious, that history can hide in the most mundane objects, and that curiosity and knowledge can unlock doors that most people never even notice. And whether or not you ever discover a $12 million penny yourself, the lesson remains the same: pay attention, ask questions, and never underestimate the potential hidden in everyday things, because sometimes the smallest discoveries carry the biggest stories. And if this exploration has inspired you to look at your change differently or sparked your interest in the world of rare coins and mint errors, then you're exactly where you need to be. And as always, keep searching, keep learning, and remember that the next incredible find could be sitting right in front of you without you even knowing it. Last 2001 1-cent coin. Today's deep dive into one of the most fascinating and astonishing stories in the world of coin collecting, a story about a single 1-cent coin from the year 2001 that has captivated collectors and experts alike, not just because of its rarity but because of the incredible errors and mistakes that make it worth a staggering $11 million. Yes, you heard that right, a coin that would normally be worth only a penny has become a multi-million-dollar treasure, and today we're going to explore every detail of this remarkable phenomenon, from the origin of the coin, the specific errors that transformed its value, the possibilities that collectors and investors see in it, and why it continues to be such an extraordinary case in numismatics. The year 2001 was not an unusual year in terms of coin production for the United States Mint. It was a standard year, and billions of pennies were produced and distributed as usual, with the iconic design featuring Abraham Lincoln on the obverse side and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. However, amidst this vast production run, a few coins slipped through with unintentional errors that have proven to be incredibly rare, and these errors are the key to why a 2001 penny can now command a value so far beyond its face value. One of the main reasons for the incredible value is the presence of what is known as a double die error on some of these pennies. A double die occurs when the coin is struck twice by the die in slightly different positions, causing the design to appear doubled or shifted. On the 2001 penny, this manifests as a noticeable doubling of the date and the lettering on the obverse side, making the coin visibly different and highly sought after by collectors. This double die error is so rare in the 2001 pennies that only a handful have been confirmed to exist, making them extraordinarily scarce and creating immense demand among collectors and investors who are aware of their rarity. Another mistake that adds to the coin's value is the off-center strike error, which happens when the coin is not perfectly aligned in the press during minting, resulting in a portion of the design being missing or cut off. Off-center strikes on the 2001 penny vary in severity, with some missing just a small part of the design, while others show as much as 50% or more of the coin's face being off the planchet. The more severe the off-center strike, the rarer the coin, and the higher its value can become. Beyond these two main types of errors, there have also been cases of planchet flaws affecting the 2001 penny, such as clipped planchets where the metal blank that becomes the coin was improperly cut, leading to a coin with missing segments or irregular shapes. These clipped planchets are particularly prized by error coin collectors because they show a clear manufacturing defect that was not caught before the coin was struck and circulated. Furthermore, the composition of the 2001 penny contributes slightly to its intrigue, as this was a year when pennies were primarily composed of copper-plated zinc. This composition can make some error coins more fragile or susceptible to damage, so those that have survived in pristine condition with error characteristics intact are even more valuable. Adding to the mystique of the 2001 penny errors is the story behind their discovery and the rarity in circulation. Most of these error coins were discovered by everyday people who noticed the odd appearance of the coin in their change or collections. Because such errors are caught early by mints nowadays with automated inspection systems, the 2001 penny error coins represent a rare window where errors slipped through due to production challenges or oversights. The possibility that such a coin could be found in circulation, even decades later, continues to excite collectors who hold on to the hope of stumbling upon a treasure in their loose change. In terms of market value, the rarity of these error pennies combined with their historical significance has caused auction prices to soar, with some specimens selling for prices as high as $11 million. This astronomical price is influenced not just by the physical coin itself but by its provenance, condition, and the documented error characteristics. High-grade coins that have been professionally certified by grading services tend to fetch the highest prices, especially if they display clear and dramatic errors. The story of the 2001 penny also illustrates the broader appeal and fascination with error coins in the numismatic world. While most coins are valued based on their rarity and condition, error coins add a layer of excitement because they tell a story about the minting process, human or mechanical mistakes, and the quirks of production. These mistakes are unexpected, making the coins rare and unique, which collectors find irresistible. Moreover, the 2001 penny error has inspired many to study and learn more about minting processes, error types, and coin grading. It highlights the importance of attention to detail and the way small imperfections can suddenly turn an ordinary object into a priceless artifact. The high valuation of the coin also points to the strong collector market and the increasing interest in rare numismatic items as investments. Coins like the 2001 penny error are seen not only as collectibles but also as alternative assets that can appreciate significantly over time, sometimes outpacing traditional investments. This has fueled an influx of new collectors and investors into the coin market, all eager to discover the next big error coin that could be worth millions. The allure of the 2001 penny is also amplified by the fact that pennies are everyday objects that everyone encounters, making the idea that a simple penny can be worth millions a compelling and almost magical concept. This narrative appeals to the dream of finding hidden treasure in the most unexpected places and has made the story of this coin popular beyond just numismatic circles, reaching mainstream audiences through social media, documentaries, and auctions. Additionally, the 2001 penny error raises awareness about the significance of preserving coins in good condition and the role of professional grading in determining value. Many collectors now invest in proper storage and authentication services to protect their coins and maximize their potential worth. The grading process evaluates factors like wear, luster, strike quality, and error visibility, which are critical in establishing the coin's final market price. There are also numerous stories of controversy and debate surrounding the authenticity and grading of some 2001 penny errors, as with any high-value collectible. Experts and collectors sometimes dispute whether certain coins genuinely exhibit the described errors or whether they have been altered or misidentified. These disputes add to the intrigue and drama surrounding the coin, encouraging deeper research and expert involvement. From an economic perspective, the 2001 penny error phenomenon highlights how value is often assigned based on rarity, uniqueness, and demand rather than intrinsic material worth. Despite being made of inexpensive metals, the coin's worth skyrockets due to the unique mistakes it carries, demonstrating how human perception and market forces create value. For those who own such coins, the question often arises about whether to sell immediately or hold for potential further appreciation. Given the volatility of collectible markets, opinions vary widely, with some experts advising patience while others suggest capitalizing on current high demand. The ongoing market interest means the 2001 penny error is frequently featured in coin shows, auctions, and collector forums, where enthusiasts share knowledge, trade coins, and discuss the latest findings. This community aspect has helped sustain and grow interest over time, making the coin a fixture in numismatic culture. Another intriguing possibility is that other undiscovered 2001 penny errors might still be hidden in circulation or private collections. This possibility keeps the hunt alive and fuels excitement among treasure hunters who meticulously inspect coins looking for telltale signs of errors. With advancements in technology and magnification tools, even subtle errors can now be detected more easily, increasing the chances of discovery. The 2001 penny error also sheds light on the technical challenges faced by mints in maintaining quality control with mass production. Despite modern machinery and computerized systems, human oversight and mechanical malfunctions can still result in rare errors slipping through, making each error coin a snapshot of minting history. Collectors and historians alike find value not just in the coins themselves but in what they represent about the minting process and the era they come from. Furthermore, the 2001 penny has contributed to raising awareness about the importance of numismatic education. Many new collectors have been introduced to the hobby through stories of this coin, inspiring them to learn about coin grading, error types, and historical context, enriching the coin collecting community as a whole. In terms of specific notable examples, some 2001 pennies with extreme doubling on the date and letters have been documented and showcased in prominent auctions, drawing significant media attention and record-breaking bids. These coins often come with detailed provenance, tracing back to their discovery and previous owners, adding to their allure and legitimacy.